It's Thursday, February 21st. Less than 48 hours after he lauded Pakistan's efforts for regional peace and security while in Islamabad, Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, in a joint statement with Prime Minister Modi in New Delhi, said terrorism and extremism are a common concern and that Saudi Arabia will cooperate with India, including on intelligence sharing. In his statement, Prime Minister Modi spoke of the Pulwama attack.
पिछले हफ्ते पुलवामा में हुआ बर्बर आतंकवादी हमला इस मानवता विरोधी खतरे से दुनिया पर छाए कहर की एक और क्रूर निशानी है.
But did not mention Pakistan by name.
इस खतरे से प्रभावशाली ढंग से निपटने के लिए हम इस बात पर सहमत हैं कि आतंकवाद को किसी भी प्रकार का समर्थन दे रहे देशों पर सभी संभव दबाव बढ़ाने की आवश्यकता है.
Both leaders called upon all countries to renounce the use of terrorism as an instrument of state policy. Both leaders underlined the importance of comprehensive sanctioning of terrorists and their organizations by the United Nations. His Royal Highness appreciated consistent efforts made by Prime Minister Modi since May 2014, including Prime Minister's personal initiatives to have friendly relations with Pakistan. In this context, both sides agreed on the need for creation of conditions necessary for resumption of the comprehensive dialogue between India and Pakistan.
The Saudi-Pakistan joint statement, as we had pointed out earlier, appeared to undermine India's efforts to get the UN Security Council to declare Jaish-e-Mohammad chief Masood Azhar a global terrorist. The statement spoke of the need to, quote, avoid politicization of the UN listing regime, a clear reference to India's efforts to rally international opinion following the suicide bombing in Kashmir by Pakistan-based Jaish-e-Mohammad. France is all set to move a proposal at the United Nations to ban Masood Azhar, the chief of the Jaish-e-Mohammad, which claimed responsibility for the suicide attack that killed 40 CRPF men in Kashmir's Pulwama district. The French ambassador to India, Alexandre Ziegler, confirmed the decision, saying,
it's been 2 years that we are trying to put Masood Azhar on the UN sanction list. We have to be working on this after the horrible attacks that took place a week ago. We are in full solidarity with India, and we do believe that Masood Azhar should be listed, and we are working on that very actively.
The United States and the United Kingdom will also reportedly join efforts to move UN Security Council 1267 Al-Qaeda and Taliban affiliates sanctions committee to ban Masood Azhar. The 1267 list is maintained by a committee established pursuant to UN Security Council Resolution 1267. An individual or entity included in this list, in this sanctions regime, will face restrictions on their movement, financial penalties, and freezing of their assets. China, which is a veto-wielding permanent member of the UN Security Council, has repeatedly blocked efforts to put Masood Azhar on the list. For 2 years in a row, China blocked the resolution. Although some reports initially suggested China was reviewing its position following the Pulwama attack, it is now fairly clear Beijing's position will remain unchanged when France makes the proposed move. Reliance Communications chairperson Anil Ambani and 2 directors of the company have been held guilty of contempt of court in a petition filed by Ericsson. The court has directed Anil Ambani to pay 453 crore rupees to Ericsson within 4 weeks, failing which Anil Ambani will be sent to jail for 3 months. Ericsson had filed a petition stating that Reliance had committed contempt by not implementing orders of the Supreme Court, which had directed it to pay 550 crore to Ericsson towards settlement of dues. Shares of Reliance Group companies fell sharply following the Supreme Court's ruling. that China's surveillance of the Muslim minority Uighur community in its Xinjiang province goes far beyond general security checks and CCTV cameras has become evident. Dutch hacker Victor Gevers accessed a database with identity card numbers, birth dates, employment details, photographs, and constantly updated GPS coordinates of 2.5 million people living in the region. Worse, Gevers found that access to the data was open to the entire world and, quote, could have been corrupted by a 12-year-old, he told Associated Press. Maintained by SenseNets, a Shenzhen-based AI plus security company that works with the police in various parts of the country, uses facial recognition techniques to track people even in crowds, allowing the system to log more than 67 lakh live location coordinates in a span of 24 hours, each coordinate affixed with labels like house, mosque, hotel. China's crackdown on 1 million Uyghur, Kazakh, and Muslim minority residents of autonomous Xinjiang has attracted considerable international ire. In past reports, we've referred to Xi Jinping's efforts to sinicize Islam and the region's infamous re-education camps. This isn't an episode from Man vs. Wild, it's reality. A leopard was seen loitering around a residential area in Thane yesterday morning. First spotted at Koram Mall, CCTV footage shows the big cat moving through the mall's parking area. After a quick search, the leopard was traced to the basement of Hotel Satkar Residency in Thane. An employee of the hotel alerted the police, who managed to tranquilize the leopard around 11 a.m. with the help of forest officials. And finally, it is terrific. It is tongue-tyingly funny. It is tremendous. What? This Twitter page that's fulfilling Trump's love for long ties with a little bit of extra, as the US president calls it, girth. Sitting by the Obamas, addressing his people, talking to Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, discussing things with Russian President Putin, walking with the Queen, making a speech, leaving for a meeting. Give these guys a Trump, and they will tie and more tie without a doubt. But it isn't all without a cause. The US president has, over the years, repeatedly gone out of his way to sport ties that continue several inches below his waistband. The reason for which former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie reveals in a new book. Trump thinks longer ties are slimming. Well, that's all the news and analysis and ties for today. See you tomorrow. Love your morning fix? Help support our journalism. Subscribe to Scroll Plus using the link in the description.